Hey guys, and welcome back to my weird and wonderful. I haven't actually been making any content really for the past couple of weeks, and if I'm honest, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video either, just because there's so much stuff going on in the world and it didn't sit right with me to create content that wasn't focused around that. But on the other hand, I also think some people do just need 5 minutes to themselves, even if that means watching my videos, then great. But please do continue to support the Black Lives Matter movement, sign petitions, educate yourself, go to protests, donate if you can, and just listen and learn, because that is the only way where you're going to move forward as a society, is if you listen and learn and are nice to people. Anyway, this week I thought I would focus on one of my favourite historical characters. He's not a nice guy, and in fact he's actually pretty horrific, and I don't feel great about being so fascinated by him, but here we are. So you may know him. He goes by the name of Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad Dracula. And here are 5 weird and wonderful facts that you may not necessarily know about him, and I hope you enjoy. Fact number 1. Now, for those of you who don't know, Vlad the Impaler was actually the original inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula due to his horrific bloodlust. Because, you don't get the name Impaler for being nice, do you? But Vlad was actually the Prince of Wallachia, which is now modern-day Romania, between 1448 and 1477. And during this time, he gained a notorious reputation across the whole of Europe because of his love for torture and punishment, and he loved to send a message. I think this is what was so terrifying about him, was that he was so intelligent and calculated. It made him so much more scarier. Fact number 2. Now, before, I mentioned Vlad was super intelligent, super calculated, but not only that, he was super creative, especially when it came to war. This is what he did, this is what he loved. And now it's alleged that he actually used chemical warfare. I'm not talking about chemical bombs or gases, what you see today. What he would do, he would collect people with leprosy, the bubonic plague, and other infectious diseases, and basically release them into invading camps with the hope that they would affect enough people that they would die, and he wouldn't have to face many of them on the battlefield. It's a really good idea. Fact number 3. Now, not only did Vlad have a love for punishment and torture and blood, all the good stuff, he also loved to show how much control he had over his people, because apparently his ego needed it. So in order to do this, he had a solid gold cup crafted and placed in the centre of town, with one condition: anyone can drink out of it, but it must not leave the town square. Now, let me just set the scene. So there's around 60,000 people in this town, and a lot of them were extremely poor. But guess what? During his entire reign over Wallachia, that cup did not move from that town square. Madness. Fact number 4. Now, I don't really want to get into all the blood and the torture and the impaling, because I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's hard not to when you're talking about Vlad the Impaler. So I thought I'd choose one example just to show you how brutal he really was. Now, it's well documented that Vlad used to love to eat his dinner in front of the victims that he's impaled. But not only that, he also loved to force his servants to stand there and watch as well. Now, it's said that one time one of the servants was so appalled and disgusting, and the smell and everything just got to him, that he was actually sick. Now, this annoyed Vlad so much that, guess what? He had him impaled, and I guess he probably ate his dinner in front of him as well. So, the moral of the story is, don't Vlad. Fact number 5. Now, it is estimated that during his lifetime, Vlad the Impaler was responsible for over 100,000 deaths, which were mostly Turkish soldiers. Now, despite Wallachia being quite a small territory, this made him the most brutal enemy that the Ottoman Empire ever faced, which is why today he's still seen as one of the great leaders of Romania. Well, these have been my 5 weird and wonderful facts about Vlad the Impaler. Trust me, I could keep talking and talking and talking, but I don't want to bore you guys. So all I want to say is just be kind to each other, spread love. You never know what people are going through. And I hope you're keeping safe and a little bit sane, because I'm not.